Hello, everybody. It looks like we are live. I think it's working. Hello, how is everyone? Welcome to the post-Christmas show. Hello to, hey, Chris from Comic Tropes, how do you do? Hello, the Killer Weezer. Hello, Lo1Bo2. Hey, Sparkster, always nice to see Sparkster. Hello, Peter Ang and Eric Gollinger. How do you do? Nice to see everybody. Hope everybody had a good Christmas. Hope you were visited by Santa and not Krampus. By the way, there's one thing I don't understand. Because, there's this European, myth around Christmas of Krampus. But I don't really get it, because my wife used to get Krampus every month. Oh, thank you, Comic Tropes, for the super chat. Merry Christmas to... Merry X-Men to Comic Tropes. How do you do? Hello, the Figure Six Pack. Hello, Matt Edwards. Hello, Terrence. How do you do? Thank you all for joining me. We are going to do story time. We will do story time at the bottom half of the hour. Yeah, that's the only thing I don't understand. Hello, Marianne. Nice to see you, Marianne. Thank you for thank you for the eggnog, which I was going to get for the show, but then I forgot. It's been a little bit of a hurry. Hello, Diecast Nick. Hello, Matt. Hello, Lester. Hello, Jamelin Parks. How do you do? How do you do? Yes, happy Festivus, Gray Fox. Roberto, how do you do? Hello from the United States. Thank you very much for being here. So yes, we are doing story time. I have, yes, Matt, story time. I have the Find Your Fate books. We will pick one of these. Now, we've done all of these before. We've done all of them at different times before. I'll just have to try to pick one, I'll have to try to pick one that we haven't done too much, right? But it's a Find Your Fate book, yeah, we will pick one, and we will together find our fate. Hello, Spaced Cobra. Hello, MCDJ ACDC. Yes, I did have the eggnog last week, and I have a little bit left. It's quite delicious. I'm an eggnog lover. I am, and thank you for the pumpkin pie, not pumpkin pie, the pecan pie. Why do I keep calling it pumpkin? Thank you for the pecan pie as well. Just lots of delicious things. Exploriso, how do you do? Oh yeah, it's quite all right. I still have some. We're good. We're good on pecan pie. And thank you. It's quite delicious. Yes, are there any G.I. Joe Find Your Fate books that take place during the holidays? I haven't found one so far. Not any of these anyway. But let's see. Hold up. Sorry. Let me see if isn't there like a winter themed one somewhere? I don't know. Well, hey, this one has Snow Job, and Snow Job kind of looks like Santa. So we could do this one. This will be the one we do. Operation Robot Assassin. I know we've done that before, but we've done all of them before. But thanks for helping pick the book. This will be the book in which we find our fate. Hello, Josiah. Hello, the Killer Weezer. Yeah, GoBots. Is it a full set? It's not a full set. It's most of them. But I am still missing a few. I'm missing like which ones am I missing? Number 5. Oh, number 4. Oh no, no. I'm not missing number 4. That's this one. I'm missing number 5. And numbers 12 and 13. And 15 through 18. So yeah, it's not a full set, but I got most of them. I do need to get more. I gotta replenish the story time material. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ranking from best to worst, your Find Your Fate book. Yeah, that's a good question because, like, or that's a good point, I should say. How would we rate these? It would be really hard to rate the Find Your Fate books because it depends on which path you take. Because I think probably all of them have certain choices that lead to an early demise, and that's not very fun. So I think that would be very difficult to rate the Find Your Fate books because every one of them has options, and depending on what option you take, you might like the story better or not as much. Thank you, Raymond. Oh, YouTube turned off your notifications. Well, I'll have a word with them about that. But thank you very much. Glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here. Do a tier list. Yeah, I wasn't prepared to do a tier list, but in the future we can do a tier list of the Find Your Fate books. This one by H. William Stein and Megan Stein. So, yes. We have to keep Cobra's lethal robot from killing world leaders at a summit conference. So, well, yeah. Cool. Well, you know what? I have full confidence in us that we will be successful in this mission. Or we've done this enough times that we've memorized the right choices. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll try to make it interesting. Oh wait, hey, it's codename New2Vera2. Hey, how do you do? Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Recovered from illness, or well, I'm glad that you have recovered. Hope you feel better, and welcome back. It's very nice to see you. We did miss you, and we're glad that you're here. Do a tier list for each year of the vintage line. That's actually not a bad idea. See, I think the whole point of tier lists is to stoke controversy, because no matter what you do, no matter how you rate it, somebody's going to be outraged, and that's that's good TV. That's good TV. Hello, McLeod and Renegade Biker. Thank you both for being here. I ever thought about getting a Python Patrol officer, aka Banana Man, and sending it to Timmer? That's a good idea. I did send him a bunch of orange stuff. I did do that. Speaking of Timmer, I guess to start out, we should start with the news, and there is some news. Yes, thank you, Josiah. What's on Joe Mind does a tier list for. They've been doing tier lists for each year, so they've got the head start on that. Today is Tuesday, so that means there's a new Half the Battle video. Timmer has a new video up. This time it is his stuff, the haul that he got for the holiday. So make sure you check out Half the Battle. Always a big fan of Timmer. We wrapped up the charity drive at the beginning of December, and that went really well. So well done. Thank you, JoeFan84. Have a good Christmas. I did have a good Christmas. I actually did. Spend the time with families. Spend it with significant other. Is it? I mean, maybe it's not rude to call somebody a significant other. Is that like a demotion to be an other? My plus one. Thank you, Josiah. Happy Kwanzaa. Thank you. I will be lighting the Kwanzaa fireworks later. Thank you. That's and thank you very much for the super chat. I'm always tongue-tied. Yes, I've. It's my party trick. Yes. But anyway, the point is, I had a good Christmas. It was good. I had a very nice time. Got to spend the time with my kids. Both of my kids in the same house at the same time. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you. I appreciate that. So that means I get to be somebody's other too. I get to be somebody's plus one. Oh wait, hey, hello, Big Gay Dave. Nice to see you. You almost snuck in here without me seeing you, but yes. Other news. Look, we got news today. Today, I am your news source. I am your hard-hitting G.I. Joe journalist here. Okay, I am your Hector Ramirez. I am on top of the latest and the greatest. I have the scoop. And what I mean by that is that I read stuff that other people reported, and I'm going to tell you what it is. Two other things. Actually, three. I guess three. Technically three. First of all, Joe Fest 2023. The dates have been announced. They are at joefestusa.com. And the dates are June 9th through the 11th, 2023 in Augusta, Georgia. So June 9th through the 11th in Augusta, Joe Fest. I will be there. It should be a lot of fun. It'll be great to see everybody. So that's interesting. That Joe Fest is usually a little bit later in the month. But it's earlier in June this time, which is fine. That's actually fine. I keep thinking last year. This year, in 2022, it conflicted with another big convention, so that had an impact on it. Yes, I'm the. I think my hair is closer to Ted Koppel. Codename New2Vera2 asks Ted Koppel or Peter Jennings. I think I'm more of the Ted Koppel. And congratulations to anyone who knows who Ted Koppel is. That guy hasn't been around for a while. Anyway, so that's a piece of news. So now you can start making your reservations. You can start making your plans for Joe Fest 2023. June 9th through the 11th. So that should be fun. That should be very interesting. I hope to see some folks there. I went in 2022. I went this year. Had a great time. Hey, Cobra Island. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. That is another item of news is Joe Fest. The dates have been announced for 2023. Next item. I should have a tear sheet. Shh. Next item. The Full Force posted a rumor that there may be a G.I. Joe Transformer mashup like the ones that they've done before. That would be a Thunder Machine Soundwave. A Thunder Machine Soundwave. A G.I. Joe Transformer mashup. Now, of course, they've already done the Megatron His Tank. They have done the Bumblebee All Striker. So that's kind of what what they've been doing. So they'll have some exclusive figures with that. So that's not really my thing. Will I table? Comic Tropes asks if I will table at Joe Fest. I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to do it this year. Although it's nice to have a central location where I can meet everybody. I just don't want to be tethered to the table. I want to be able to go out on the floor. I want to go to all the panels. I did go to a lot of panels this year, but But it meant I had to be away from the table a lot. Bart says Soundwave Thunder Machine. No thanks, they don't go together. Yeah, I agree. But like I don't really do G.I. Joe Transformer mashups anyway. That's just not my thing. I know they've been popular with the crossover audience, but that's just not my bag. But for those of you who are interested, that's something that has leaked out there. Hey, it's Peg Warmers. Thank you for showing up, Peg Warmers. It's nice to see you. Since Peg Warmers is here, I was waiting for Peg Warmers to show up because there is another news item, sort of. Peg Warmers is a YouTube show run by Kevin, really cool guy. I try to catch the show as much as I possibly can. In the future, not sure exactly what date yet, we'll work that out, but in the future, I will be a guest on Peg Warmers. When I am a guest on Peg Warmers, we are going to talk about we're going to talk about the G.I. Joe Find Your Fate books. We will go more in depth on them, and that will be, I believe that will be our topic, as far as I know, unless we decide to change it. But yes, Grizzlehorn loves Peg Warmers. Me too. And by the way, Peg Warmers, isn't that a cool name for a show? Isn't that the perfect name for a toy-related show, Peg Warmers? That's genius. That's genius. See, Hooded Cobra Commander 788, that's not genius. That's way too long. That's why we shorten it. But Peg Warmers, that's a good name. Let's see. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, I'm really not big on the Transformers G.I. Joe mashups. I think the biggest problem I have with them is that I want to get the figure separately and not have to go to the aftermarket and not have to buy the whole thing to get the Baroness or the Stalker figure. Josiah says Peg Warmers great NYC toy convention covers. Absolutely, yes. That is absolutely true. So yeah, I know that I am, the hard-hitting journalist for this evening, but really, Peg Warmers, Kevin is, more the man on the street. That's it. He's the man on the street. He's the foreign correspondent. That's it. Peg Warmers is he's our war correspondent. Hey, it's Rob Irizarry. How do you do? Rob is not a big fan of the G.I. Joe Transformers combos, and obviously they're popular enough that they keep making them. So I mean, somebody likes them. But I'm just not a fan. I don't need that. What I would like to get though is the G.I. Joe figures separate. Now I know that there'll be a lot of Transformers collectors who will just sell off the figure that comes with it, and that's nice. But I don't want to have to pay aftermarket prices. I just want the figure. That's all I want. Hello, Bubble Bar After Memories. Nice to see you here. Going to watch Baltimore history shows, but saw HCC was live. You know what? History, yeah, you're right. History is in the past. It'll still be there. They're not going to change history. Nobody's time traveling. It'll still be there. Rumored Zartan. Will the rumored Zartan have the color change feature? That's a good question. Possibly. They were able to replicate that at the classified scale, so they could do it. Thank you, the Killer Weezer, for the super chat. Did Cobra get holidays off or holiday pay? That's a good question. I feel that Cobra Commander's probably pretty stingy and probably made them all work. Probably gave them extra work on Christmas. And you know why? It's to make them extra bitter, to make them extra angry. So when they fight, they'll just be like that more enraged. That's correct. Codename New2Vero2 has been a guest on Peg Warmers twice. Chris from Comic Tropes has been a guest on Peg Warmers. I have not been because I am chopped liver. I'm kidding. But Kevin has been a guest on this show. And Kevin has done collaborations with me multiple times. And I've had the pleasure of meeting Kevin in person a couple of times too. So Kevin's a pretty awesome dude, and I'd be really thrilled to hang out with him. That'll be awesome. Right, Johnny says he wants the Stalker, but not the Bumblebee. Yeah, that's where I am. That's where I am. And the thing is, the figures are carded. They're carded separately. Why not just pump out a few more of them and put them on the pegs? Let us just get the figure. Hey, JLS Comics, nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Did I see that you put up a video recently on General Flag? I didn't have a chance to watch it, but if I'm remembering correctly, I thought you had a new G.I. Joe related video up that popped up in my feed. What's the number one G.I. Joe peg warmer? Comic Tropes would guess Akiko from the Snake Eyes movie. My recollection... Well, okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back to the olden days. Let's go back to the 80s. The ones that I saw peg warming were Crystal Ball and Xandar. Crystal Ball and Xandar. Those are the ones that I saw peg warming. Okay. Yeah, Rob says I can't be chopped liver. They've been on our show. Yeah, well, see, that's good. None of those guys like chopped liver. Oh yeah, okay. JLS posted it today. I will get back to watch it as soon as I can. I'm a little busy at the moment, but I'll check it out later. Thank you, Bubble Wrap Memory, for the super chat. It's a small amount, but it's the thought that counts. You are the one of the best. Oh, thank you very much. Hope you get many more of these. Thank you very much, Bubble Wrap Memories, and thank you very much for being here. The olden days. Yes, the olden days of the 1980s. Back in olden times. During the horse and buggy era. So I do have one other thing. Pegwarmer says, I would love to have hard data from Kirk Bazigian on which figures sold the least. Me too. There has been some regional sales figures that have filtered out. I've seen a little bit, but they're only regional figures, so it's hard to know if that extrapolates out to nationally. But I would love to know. Because, yeah, yes, Xandar turned blue. And I don't dislike the Xandar figure. All I'm saying is that he hung around on the pegs a lot. I had one. I did my part, but I guess he didn't resonate. It's almost 7:30. It's almost time for us to read the Find Your Fate book. But before we do that, I have one other thing. I have a letter. This came in the post office. So I'm going to read the letter. This is from... Hold on, let me make... Yes, Kenneth. Thank you, Kenneth. And it's not very long. And okay, I can read most of this. This does have some address information. I won't read the address information. I don't want to read anybody's like personal information online. But Kenneth writes, "Dear Sir, hello. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. If you get some incomplete 80s G.I. Joes, or if you know of someone who has them, just send them to me and I will fix them. Stay safe, Kenneth." And he includes his address information there. I do have some. Actually, I have a whole bunch of them. So since you've sent your address, if I can get around to it and get the time to do it, I have some extra. A little bit extra. So yeah, so thank you very much for the letter, Kenneth. I do keep all of these letters. Every letter that is sent to me, I keep every single one of them. I will keep them forever. Thank you to everyone who sends everything to me, to the P.O. Box. But thank you all, even if you don't send something. It's awesome. Hello, Jump in General. Yes, all is well, I think. Xandar looked like he studied fashion from Lisa Frank. That's good. That's a good description. Had more than one color theme happening, didn't he? So yeah. See, Xandar, though, he had the special gimmick. You know, his skin would turn blue in the sunlight, just like Zartan and Zarana. But like the file card that Larry wrote for him, his special feature, his special ability was to be not noticed and forgotten. And I think that somewhat came true. So yes, Xandar, the one that everybody forgets about. Oh, I didn't realize you were there, Xandar. You blend in so well with the background. So yes, all right. Are you ready? Are you ready to find your fate? Alistair is here sniffing the letter that Kenneth sent. Hey, come here. Come make an appearance. It'll help the algorithm. It'll help the algorithm. Hey, buddy. Look. Do you see yourself? All right. Okay. I can tell based on what I'm seeing on this screen versus what I'm seeing on this screen that there is some lag. So I'll try to account for that. Okay. All right. So here's how this works. So this is a Find Your Fate book. So we will read the book. And by the way, thank you, Wesley Sullivan, for returning this book to the market so I could get it. So we will read this book. We will get to certain pages, and at the bottom of those pages there will be options, and it'll tell us to turn to a certain page depending on what option we want to choose. So when we get to one of those pages, I will ask the live chat to make a selection. You will put the page number that you want to turn to in the live chat. I would recommend not flooding the live chat just because the YouTube bots will think that you're spamming and they may kick you out. It's not my rule. It's the YouTube thing. But I will take a very unscientific poll of the live chat, and whichever page number appears to win, we will turn to that page and we will find our fate. Now, we are going to read Operation Robot Assassin. This is book number 4 by H. William Stein and Megan Stein. We're reading it because it has snow on it, and Snow Job looks a little bit like Santa Claus. So that's why we chose this one. I know we've done these because we've done all of them. We've done all the ones I have anyway. In fact, we've done all the ones that I have multiple times. Hello, Andrew. Andrew, the guy's so nice they named him twice. Nice to see you. Let's do this, okay? So you got the idea. You got the rules, right? You got the rules, yeah. So they're up in the mountains in the snowy cold, but Bazooka still doesn't mind going, short sleeves. Bazooka's in short sleeves, and then Snowjob is in his winter gear and skiing. Snowjob wore a t-shirt for skiing. So, all right. You get the idea. I think most of you have done this before. Here we go. All right. We start with page 1. You ready? Here we go. The door to the briefing... Blah. Wow. Okay. The door to the briefing room in the pit closes with a "let's get down to business" slam. You're sitting by yourself, off to the side, trying to blend in, like Xandar. It's your first time in the G.I. Joe Command Center. The G.I. Joe team files in and takes their seats, looking you over as if you had 3 arms. Maybe you do have 3 arms. Settle down and listen up, barks the officer at the front of the room. He's Colonel Clayton Abernathy, better known as Hawk. Better known... That's an odd sentence. Better known as the Joe team's head honcho. Wow, I can't read tonight. I never learned to read. Within an hour, 10 or 12 of you guys will be on a plane headed for Switzerland, Hawk begins. Another round of peace talks is scheduled to begin there tomorrow, and it's not going to go too well, if you know what I mean. Hawk begins, the president will be there, and so will every world leader you can name. The trouble is Cobra, the international terrorist organization, plans to crash the party by blowing it to smithereens. Colonel, should we be talking in front of the stranger? Someone asks, pointing at you. Suddenly, all eyes are on you, so much for blending in. When Hawk notices you, he calmly takes out a... hey, this one is Chris's favorite. He calmly takes out a hand grenade, pulls the pin, and tosses it right in your lap. Page 2. You've got to give the guys credit. When they see the grenade, they hit the floor and take cover just the way they're supposed to. But a few of them watch carefully enough to see your magic act. You make a few quick movements with a special tool you designed yourself. Routine stuff for you, nothing to raise a sweat about. In an instant, you defuse the grenade before it blasts you into dust as fine as baby powder. Save your applause to the end, Hawk says, taking command of the buzzing room again. So yes, here's the new guy. Look, if you ever get introduced by somebody throwing a hand grenade in your lap, I think that means they don't like you very much. Codename Biff the Summer Intern. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a picture. Here's an illustration of Hawk tossing you a hand grenade. Here, take this. Yeah, if you're Butterfingers, it will just kill everybody in the room. Genius. The best. So I'm already rating this the best Find Your Fate book. Okay, team, this is Hotshot. That's our code name, Hotshot. Hotshot's specialty is making sure things don't explode. In a minute, you'll see why Hotshot is going to be so important on this mission. Then Hawk starts flashing slides on the screen. Aerial and land views of Geneva, Switzerland, with snow and mountains everywhere. Next come pictures of all the world leaders who are expected to attend the peace talks there. Cobra's gotten into the robot business, Hawk says. We have an early report that Cobra has developed a completely lifelike and undetectable robot programmed to kill. It's a fembot. It's a walking time bomb, and the one thing on its electronic mind, something during the Geneva peace talks, is going to blow the world leaders away. Page 3. We haven't... Oh, thank you, Comic Tropes. No Joes jump on the grenade to save their comrades. Yeah, no Captain Americas in this room. No Steve Rogerses. And there's one other small detail, Hawk continues. We have no idea what the robot looks like. It may even be an exact duplicate of one of the world leaders. All we know for sure is that it'll look, talk, and act like a real person. We've got to find it and pull its wires before it blows. The next Hawk starts putting together 2 G.I. Joe teams. Duke, you'll lead the first team with Lady J, Gung Ho, Snake Eyes, and Bazooka, Hawk says. Your target is a small factory in Germany. You know the factory makes artificial legs, arms, stuff like that. But we also suspect it's a Cobra front and the place where the robot assassin was built. Infiltrate the plant and destroy the robot if it's still there. Flint, you'll take Snowjob, Airtight, Ripcord, Mutt, and Blowtorch to Geneva. You've got to find out the robot's identity, even if it means searching every closet of every villa, of every world leader staying there, and then you've got to neutralize it. See, I'm picturing... You remember in the movie Naked Gun? You know, when Frank's got to search all the baseball players? That's just what I'm picturing the Joes doing. They're like very casually trying to search all of the world leaders. That's... Anyway, page 4. Hey, we have a choice. It walks, it talks, it eats, it cries, it's wet. So lifelike. Yes, it does its business. That's how they'll find out which one is the robot. It's not potty trained. Page 4. Hot shot. Hawk says, turning to you. Wherever the robot turns up, you should be there, but we know you can't be in 2 places at once. So you get to choose. Which team do you want to join? The one that's going to Germany or the team that's covering the diplomats in Switzerland? It's up to you to decide. Okay, ready? All right, get ready to make your choices. Okay, get ready to make your choices. If you would like to go to Germany, if you'd like to go to the factory in Germany, in the live chat, type 24. If you would like to go to Switzerland, type 80. So 24 if you want to go to Germany, 80 if you want to go to Switzerland. Make your selection. Let's see what you got. Hey, when I do this, do I look like Superman? Okay, we've got a couple votes for 24. Pop quiz hot shot. 80. Okay, 80 is starting to win. And I think I know why. Because I believe Rob says better chocolate in Switzerland. Yes. I think last time we did the Germany route. I think we did that last time. I think for those that remember, I think we're getting a lot of votes for the other option. Hey, WWJG85 says 24. The land of chocolate. You know, that sounds... Actually, that's... Do I have any chocolate here? Hold on. Let me see. Well, I mean, it's got chocolate. So, yeah, it was 80. I think 80 is winning. I'll give you a few more seconds. To see if there are any last minute votes, but it looks like 80 has won. I should not eat this while I'm reading. Let's turn to page 80. Page 80. Your plane touches down on an airstrip wedged smack in the middle of Switzerland's snow-capped mountains. The beautiful and bustling city of Geneva is 2 hours away. You, Flint, and the others carefully watch the faces passing you on the Geneva streets. You wonder how the tourists would feel if they knew that Cobra's robotic time bomb was walking around Geneva. Buy my flowers, a young woman calls. She has pigtails and is wearing traditional Swiss peasant clothing. Now, what will we do with flowers, pretty lady? Snowjob answers. You can stick them in your ear, Joe, the woman says. For the first time, Flint smiles. Team, he says, meet Ellie Knudsen, our intelligence contact in Geneva. What's the latest, Ellie? He just told us to stick it in our rear. Just stick the flower in your rear. Well, Flint, we've narrowed it down to 3 possible contenders for Rat of the Month. Argentina, Russia, and France, Ellie says in a low voice. Is this the World Cup? Each of these countries has had some contact with Cobra recently. We don't know how deep the contact went. It could have been accidental. But my sources think the robot is hiding out among the diplomats from one of those 3 countries. So we're talking about Argentina, Russia, and France. Could be one of those. Could be one of those. Could be one of those. Page 16. Page 16. Oh, hey, we have a choice at the end of page 16. We have a choice at the end of page 16. Ready? Thank you. We'll check them all out, Flint says. Easier said than done, Ellie says. The Argentine diplomats are staying in the Bueller Palace. Bueller? Count Bueller built the monstrosity 2 centuries ago and promptly disappeared in it. What? The Argentines are the first people to set foot in the place in more than 100 years. So why don't they just go to the Hilton? You know, but go to the Motel 6. Why are you staying in the abandoned castle? Meanwhile, the Russians are staying in the Rooster Mansion. Rooster Mansion. So are the French staying in the Goose Mansion? I know that place, Flint says. It's got a wall 10 feet thick made of stone mixed with broken glass. You can't climb it, and you couldn't bust it with the Pittsburgh Steelers front 4. In the mid-'80s... behind that wall are guards and dogs, Ellie says, and the house is full of booby traps. Well, that's just a typical Russian home, though. Maybe you'll want to try the French instead. They're staying at the Chateau Noir. It's supposed to be a ski resort, but that place is rigged with every high-tech security device known to man, and a few no one's heard about yet. So how's this? We're not gonna figure out which one is the most likely. We're gonna just check out whichever one is the easiest. Let's go with the easiest. Yes, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, they mentioned the Pittsburgh. Somebody's a Steelers fan. Are you trying to scare us or make this sound like fun? Airtight says, picking up his gear. Flint looks at you carefully. You're part of the team now, he says. What do you think, Hotshot? So even though we are not the team leader, we get to make all the choices. All right, are you ready? Okay. We got 3 options. 3 options. Get ready. Get your fingers ready. Get ready to type, okay? In the live chat, if you would like to go to the Bueller Palace, that's 18. If you want to go to the Rooster Mansion, that's 30. If you want to go to Chateau Noir, that's 36. So yes, I know, Bart. I know you're from Pittsburgh. Huh? I am aware. Steelers doing a little bit better. So okay, Bueller Palace. That was for which one? The Argentines. Page 18. Rooster Mansion. That was for the Russians. Page 30. Chateau Noir. That's the French. Page 36. Let's see what we got. We got 169. 12 is not an option. We got 18, 30, or 36. 18, 18, 30, or 36. Hey, it's What's on Joe Mind. Hello, What's on Joe Mind. Thank you very much for joining. You might want to be careful about the multiple, because the YouTube might boot you. Bueller. So we got some 18s. We got a couple 36s. We got another 18. Why is my live chat doing that? Hold on. 14 for bazooka. Let me refresh this. Reload it. Keep your finger on the page so you can go back real quick. Yeah, good thinking. We got 36s. I think 18 is winning. 36 is starting to catch up. What's on Joe Mind really wants 78. How's Al? He's fine. Alistair is just over here, just itching to cause trouble. He's right here. You want to come over? Did we even get any votes for 30? I think 18 is winning. Oh, hello. Well, there he is. There he is. Break the rules and go with 12. That would be. Hey, one time we did, like, for each time we chose an option, we would switch books. That was funny. Of course the wife can vote, of course. But I think number 18 is one, but it's 36 is pretty close, and 30 didn't get any. Well, hey, we got 130. One person voted for 30. I think 18 is one, but it's pretty close. I'm going with 18. Okay, the cat really wants to destroy things, and he's very upset that he's not destroying something right now. Okay, here we go. No, don't please don't step on it. Okay. He's right here. He's right here. All right, go. Just don't step on it. Okay. All right. Comic Tropes voted for. We got 2 for 30. But I'm going with 18. I feel like 18 edged it out just a little bit. Okay, page 18. The Bueller Palace looks like something out of an old Dracula movie. It's surrounded by a spiked wrought iron fence which Blowtorch says will snap like a wishbone. But you've decided to take the place at night. The palace is a long way from the fence. In daylight, you'd be spotted running from the fence to the palace. After dark, you and Blowtorch trade your clothes for black sweaters and pants and smear your faces and hands with black grease. The two of you are going to search the palace for the robot assassin. The rest of the team will sit this one out, unless you're not back in 15 minutes. Using his flamethrower... You're going to search the entire castle in 15 minutes? Using his low-flame laser torch, Blowtorch cuts through the bars of the iron fence in no time. That's not how that works, but whatever. Cat. The two of you slip through, and then it's a foot race for the palace. No guards, no searchlights, no sweat. You've reached the palace in 53 seconds. The servant's side door is locked, but you've brought a passkey, a small blob of plastic explosives, a little smoke, a little pop, and the door swings open. So we're using explosives now for our sneaky, quiet entrance. That was easy, you say. Too easy, Blowtorch says, page 42. Okay, 42. Hey, we have another choice. We have another option at the bottom of this page. That's one reason why I like this one. It gives us lots of choices. Okay, Blowtorch carries his flamethrower in combat position through the halls of the palace. Up staircases, down wood-paneled halls. One hall leads endlessly to another. There are 3 floors of bedrooms, each one decorated to please a king. But every room in the palace is empty. I'm beginning to think we're doing the right thing in the wrong place, Blowtorch says. We should be tripping over guards, soldiers, alarms, and diplomats. I've been through car washes with more security than this. You motion to Blowtorch to freeze. There's a light under a door. You open the door slowly and peek in. There's an old man lying in bed, you whisper. It's the Argentine president, and he's fast asleep. Anyone else? Blowtorch says. 2 servants. One of them is sleeping in a chair by the bed. The other one's nodding off by the door. No one's armed, and there's not a robot in sight. Blowtorch looks at you and scratches his head. I don't get it. So far, this isn't a job for the G.I. Joe team. It's a scene from Sleeping Beauty. The only problem is neither of us looks like Prince Charming, and I don't think either of you are gonna kiss the ambassador. All right. If you want to forget this place and come back later, turn to page 66. Okay, 66 if you want to forget this place and leave. Come back later. 51 if you want to try to wake El Presidente. You want to wake up the president. 51 if you want to leave. 66. 66 to leave. 51 to wake him up. Excuse me, Mr. President. We just broke into your place. Everything okay? You all right? By the way, would you happen to be a robot? Would you be are you a robot? Renegade Biker says 66. Comic Trope says 51, 51, 51. We got a couple 66s, but we got a couple more 51s. We got a 66, got a 51, 51. Okay. I'll give you a few more seconds. Get your vote in. 51, 666. Lots of 51. See, I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious of this president who has no security in this dark and gloomy castle. We'll see a little. Hello, Yojo. We're doing story time. And it looks like Heinz 51. Looks like 51 is winning. I'll give it a couple more seconds just to see if 66 catches up. Just to see. Yeah, checking his mouth. Yeah, exactly. See, is he sleeping, or is he just in low power mode? Is he recharged? Check to see if he's got a USB port in his side that's plugged in, so he's recharging. Just check that. I don't think they had those in the 80s, but whatever the 80s equivalent is, like one of those printer cables stuck in his side to recharge. I think 51 won. I think I'm going with 51. Page 51. Well, we're not dead yet. We're not dead yet. Just as you and Blowtorch are about to step into El Presidente's room, one of the servants steps out. His face runs through every emotion in the book when he sees the two of you. Who are you and what are you doing on Argentine property? The servant demands angrily. Since we've got the artillery, we'll ask the questions, Blowtorch snaps back. Where is everybody? Everyone has gone to the big party at the United States Embassy, the servant says. So why didn't El Presidente go? El Presidente has suffered an accident, the servant says. 2 days ago, while he was skiing, his appendix burst. He fell and rolled many times down the mountain. Man, that sucks. He was rushed to the hospital where his appendix was removed. He must not be disturbed. So they didn't leave him in the hospital. They put him in the castle. Because he is vowed to go to the peace talks tomorrow, even in his weak condition. We're not going to disturb him. I just want to make sure his head isn't attached with nuts and bolts, you say. 1. I hear voices. Who is out there? Calls a hoarse voice from inside the bedroom. Page 82. We're not dead yet. You walk past Juan into El Presidente's room. The gray-haired man lying in bed is only half awake. One look at his face tells you that he has been given many sedatives. Even though he's drugged, he's alert enough to be alarmed by your black-smeared faces. You can see the fear in his eyes. El Presidente, it was very important for us to see you, you say, trying to calm him. You pick up the old man's hand and feel that it is thin and bony, but it's warm and definitely made of real flesh. We are very sorry to hear about your accident and hope you recover quickly. As you speak, Blowtorch lifts El Presidente's sheets and bedclothes. Well, is he going to get right in there with them? That's a first-class appendix scar, Blowtorch says. The two servants begin to stir, but Blowtorch's glare freezes them in their tracks. I don't remember about it, El Presidente says. I was skiing. I felt a sharp pain in my head. Then I fell. El Presidente, don't you mean a pain in your side, you ask? But the old man slips off to sleep. Head, side, what's the difference, Blowtorch says. He's not our robot. Let's get out of here, page 13. Okay, page 13. In another 90 seconds, the Joe team will assume you're in trouble and will begin a rescue mission. So you and Blowtorch scramble out of the palace as quickly as you can. When you get back to the truck, someone new has been added to the group. Mutt is playing with a large black and white mongrel dog. Animals are always fun, Mutt, Ripcord tells you. The day he was born, I bet his mother said, look what the cat dragged in. That's not very funny. Give it a rest, Ripcord, Flint says. I want to hear Hotshot's report. Negative on the robot, you say. The palace is empty tonight except for El Presidente. Page 85. This is a long one. Thank you all for everybody who's stuck it out. Thank you for staying. 80. I did say 85. 85. Oh, we have another choice. At the bottom of this page. Okay. Yeah, and El Presidente is no robot. He's just a tired old man who needs a little R&R after an emergency operation, Blowtorch adds. He's not going anywhere for a while. That makes Snowjob laugh. Oh, yeah? Well, a minute ago, two guys carried El Presidente out of here in a wheelchair. They bundled him into a limo and sped off toward town. What's going on, you say? Feeling as if you just found a kick-me sign on your back. Maybe we're wrong about El Presidente. Maybe he is the robot, Blowtorch says to you. If you want to search the limo, turn to page 49. Okay, so 49 if you want to search for the limo. If you think you're too late, get some sleep, and then go on to the next villa, that's page 30. If you want to search for the limo, 49. If you want to just get some sleep for now, page 30. 49 or 30. 49 or 30. He's a chud. That's hilarious. 49 or 30. Did they fix the doors on the way out? That's a good question. They did cause property damage. I hope somebody's going to pay for that. 49. 49. Lots of 49s. I too am suspicious about this limo. Yes, we are still alive. The 49ers. Yeah, we had the Steelers. Now we're talking about the 49ers. We have 1:30. Yo Joe is tired. He's like, now let's just get some rest for the night. Let's have a nap. We'll pick it up, 7 a.m., then 9 a.m., when everybody's up and had their coffee. I'd say 49 wins. Almost unanimous. 49, page 49. I'm going 49. 49. I've got to find page 49. Look at that. Page 49 is right after page 48. I've got a pretty good idea where the limo's headed, you tell Flint. There's a party at the American Embassy. Let's get a chopper down here. We've got a party to crash, Flint barks into his radio. 5 minutes later, the team scrambles out of a helicopter and heads for the front door of the embassy. Looks like an ordinary party. No sign of Cobra, Flint says, his eyes checking all directions at once. I'm gonna stay outside and scout around, Mutt says. He scratches the spotted mongrel's ears and then adds, I hate parties. Hey, you boys have invitations? Asks one of the spit and polish guards who stops you at the front door. Airtight cocks his M16 and points the barrel right at the guard's nose. You can read my invitation, Corporal, or do you need... can you read my invitation, Corporal, or do you need more light, he asks. That's rude. Look, I know this is an emergency situation, but you're not going to win anybody's trusts by pointing a gun at them. Hey, yeah, I'm definitely not the threat. I'm the guy who's pointing a gun at your head. I'm the good guy. Get to the chopper. You rush to the ballroom where the party is in full swing. The leaders of every important country in the world are in the room. El Presidente has just been wheeled in. Smiling, the American president comes to greet him, and then the lights go out. We've got here just in time. Now the party's really starting. Ripcord calls to you, page 28. We have another choice. Man, we are like surviving a long time in this. Okay, a voice, calm and cruel, comes over the ballroom PA system. This is the recorded voice of Cobra Commander, the last voice you will ever hear, it says. My agents have overpowered the American guards and have sealed off every possible escape route. The lights flash back on. The faces around the room are tense and sweaty, except for the faces of your teammates. They are ready to spit bullets. We have gathered all of you tonight to partake in the culmination of Cobra's struggle to take over the world, not in slow and costly battles, but in one brilliant explosion. You are now trapped in a room with our robot assassin. In a few moments, you will be detonated, and every one of your countries will come under my control. Goodbye. That's how you take over the world, right? Because, you know, if the world leaders get blown up, I guess there's just nothing we can do. You know, Cobra blew up the world leaders. I guess they win. Okay. And by the way, why does he announce his plan to everyone there? Why doesn't he just do it? Just do it. Yeah, man, maybe behind that mask, Cobra Commander is actually Dr. Evil. Your eyes scan the room as you mutter to yourself, okay, hotshots, let's see if you're as good as your name. You look at the French, the Russians, the Germans, and you can't tell a thing from their faces. Any one of them could be the robot. But then, as you remember, the Argentine president was the last to arrive just before the party got ugly. Time is running out. What are you going to do? All right. This is it. I think this is the move that decides if we live or die, okay? If you think El Presidente is the robot, isolate him on page 62. 62. 62 if you think El Presidente is the robot. If you're not sure who the robot is, move the U.S. president to a safer location, page 33. So 62 if we're going to go after the El Presidente, and 33 if we're just going to cover our president and get him out of here, rush our president out of here. So we got 62 if we think it's El Presidente. Peg Warmers has spoken. Peg Warmers thinks it's 62. I'm quite suspicious. We got some 33s. You know, if he turns out to not be the robot, if it turns out to be something else, somebody else, and we chose to not get the president out, out of danger, I was going to say we'd be in trouble. We wouldn't be in trouble. We would not be in any trouble at all, because we would also be blown up. We'd all be dead. I think 62 is barely winning. 62 is barely winning. There were some 33s came in. All right. I think we're going to go with 62. That was a closer one, though. There were some 33s that came in there. We're going 62. 62. We're not dead yet. Get everybody to the other side of the room. El Presidente's the robot, you tell Flint. El Presidente, move away from your aides, you say, approaching the old man in the wheelchair. Suddenly, one of the aides pulls a revolver. You cannot treat El Presidente de Argentina this way, he says. That's not El Presidente, it's a robot. It's a fembot. You yell, but Snowjob's M16 barks louder. He fires a short burst at the punch bowl. It gives the punch bowl a little punch. Wait, El Presidente says, standing up weakly. If you want me that badly, I'll be your prisoner. But Juan, El Presidente's trusted servant, wraps his arms around El Presidente's throat and points a .38 at his head. El Presidente looks at Juan with surprise and then fear. Fear? How can a robot be afraid, you mutter. Hey, I get it now, Blowtorch says. He's not a robot. There is no robot. But there is a bomb. I'll bet Cobra planted one in his stomach when they opened him up for that phony appendix operation, page 69. You are quick, Juan says. Finally, you discover there is no robot. There's no robot? This whole time there's been no robot? We've been looking for a robot and there's no robot? Yeah, 69. Finally, all those that you wanted to go to page 69, we made it. Juan throws his .38 at your feet. Keep it as a souvenir, he says with a laugh. El Presidente has enough explosives in his stomach to blow up half of Geneva. He was set to go off during the peace talks tomorrow, but I'll have to press the button now. Why would you throw the pistol? Why would you throw the gun on the floor? Even if you think you've won, right? Even if you think you're on top, you cannot be beaten. Still, why would you throw the other guy your weapon? That doesn't make any sense. Juan grabs the wristwatch and El Presidente's arm. Hey, this is a lot like the Naked Gun. And suddenly you realize the watch must be the detonator. If you push that button, you will kill yourself as well, Flint says. El Presidente gasps as Juan tightens his grip. Don't be a fool, Juan. Think of your family. Cobra is my family. That's why Cobra Commander makes everybody work on Christmas. Push the button and you can forget about this year's family reunion, Airtight cracks. Out of nowhere, a snarling black and white streak flies through the air. It's the dog Mutt dragged in. The dog goes right for Juan's hand, and Juan drops the watch, grabbing his hand in pain. Your eyes go wide. If the watch hits the floor too hard, this party is going to end with a loud bang. I bet you didn't think that dog was going to play a pivotal role in here, did ya? Did ya? Page 58. Everyone leaps to catch the watch before it falls, but just before it hits the floor, the dog comes up with it in his teeth. Hope he doesn't bite it. He carries it dutifully over to Mutt, who's standing in the doorway with his M16 trained on Juan. Mutt, how did you get in? No big deal, Mutt answers. There were only 20 Cobra agents outside. Hey, good-looking eats. Mutt retires to the food table, handing you the watch as he passes, and you join the rest of your teammates who are escorting the Argentine president out. Cobra must have made up the rumor about the robot assassin. It threw us off the track and covered up your phony skiing accident, Blowtorch explains to El Presidente. But when we breached the Bueller Palace tonight, Cobra knew we were close, you say. So they brought you here and stepped up their timetable. Why not? All the world leaders were present at this party. While you talk, you remove the detonator from the wristwatch. Then you give the watch back to El Presidente. You keep it, El Presidente says, handing it back to you through his limo window. Okay, I guess we're outside now. He smiles. I can see that knowing when the time is going to run out is much more important to you. The end. We did it. We did it. We are the champions, my friends. We can never be defeated. We are the... Hey, we have not read that. We've done this book before. I think we've done this book a couple of times before, but we have not read that scenario. We won. Absolutely. Yes, we won. And I've gone 10 minutes over the time I usually start. I am going to wrap up the live stream now. My voice is actually going out. That's a lot of talking. El Presidente is a supermarket. So that's what he did after, you know. He was El Presidente for a while, then that was his second career, you know, after he was deposed or whatever. But anyway, thank you all for being here. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed story time. Make sure you check out Peg Warmers. Well, check it out every week, but when I get on there and talk about these, and then check it out then. Thank you all, and we'll do it again next week. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. Oh, almost forgot. New Year's. I have been doing a New Year's live stream for the last couple of years. I may do that again. I'll let you know. But anyway, until then, have a great evening. Bye, everybody. See you next week.